This is Lulu La Reina, your Mexican Barbie, and you're watching the Fans View Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fans View Podcast. Today we have someone who has been lighting up the independent wrestling scene with heart, hustle, and a fire only she can bring. She is the Mexican Barbie herself. She is Miss Lulu La Reina. Lulu, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm a little sick.
Oh no, I think we all are.
This weather, man.
I'm
But
telling
besides
you.
that, I'm doing well, still
I love it.
energized.
I
Trying to
love it.
fight this, whatever is trying to kick my butt. I'm trying to kick their butt.
Nothing a little coffee can't knock out, right?
Right, yeah.
Anybody that watches your TikTok knows very much so.
Yeah.
You're quite the coffee connoisseur.
Yeah.
And we're gonna circle back to that for sure. But I want to jump into your wrestling journey because it really struck me when I was kind of doing my research on you. You're still early in your journey, obviously, but you've
Mhm.
already made quite a name for yourself. Take us back. What first pulled you into the world of professional wrestling?
Honestly, what made me get into it was just to prove my dad wrong. It was just to prove a point, you know. It was just that. Um,
Hey,
it was
spite does
during.
wonderful things.
I know it was during COVID time, and I was just like, you know what? I'm old enough to take myself somewhere to get trained, and that's how it happened. It was just to prove my dad wrong.
I love it. Was wrestling something you were a fan of growing up, or is it something you found later in life?
When I was younger, I watched it with my cousins, but I really didn't pay too much attention. I could, I wouldn't say I was a fan.
Right.
It was entertaining, obviously, but I wasn't like, oh, let me watch wrestling. I got into it as I got into the business. That's when I
Right.
got into it. So I
Right. I
got,
gotcha.
yeah, pretty late.
So super casual to start with, and then you just went balls deep, just head first into it. I
Yeah.
love it. You spoke about your dad a little bit, inspiring your journey. How did he react when you told him, like, I'm gonna be a professional wrestler?
So he actually, he didn't know. I wanted to surprise him. I had a whole, thing going on where I'm like, this is how I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm just going to train. Once I have my first match, I'm going to invite him to the show, and then he's just going to see me there, and I'm just going to, like, kick butt. But fortunately, none of that happened. A month in my wrestling training, my dad passed away from COVID. And then in that promotion that I was in, also, they didn't really teach me much during the year that I was in, especially coming from a person that didn't know anything about wrestling.
Right.
It's very different to, there's some people that get into the business being a fan, like knowing so much of it. I didn't know anything. I'm gonna tell you nothing. So I don't know if the promoter just will forget about that I just didn't know much. But I didn't learn much. So, like I said, none of that happened. So,
That, that is incredibly unfortunate. And we're sorry to hear about that for sure. You mentioned your early training. Where did you actually begin your professional wrestling training?
so I started in Woodstock at a place called PPW, Premier Pro Wrestling. I was there for like a year, and then I got injured. I was training after I got injured. I was training here and there because I was a little stubborn. Even though I was injured, I was like, no. And then I forgot about this, but I did do some referee work there also while I was injured. But um, when I noticed the promoter wasn't taking me like serious to train me, I was the only like chick there also. So I don't know if he was just like, let me just have her as like eye candy type of thing. And let
Right.
me tell you, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to learn how to, even though my dad like passed away, I still wanted to have my match, like that match that I wanted to give him. So,
Absolutely.
so yeah, after a year, I just left, and took. I honestly didn't think I was gonna come back. I was like, I think I'm done with it. Gave it a try. 2 years passed, and then I started kind of getting those little butterflies, like, oh, maybe I should give it a try again. Maybe just one match for my dad, and that's it. And that one match ended up turning into me going really damn hard on it now. So,
I love it. I love that. When I was going through again my research, it told me like you were at Ice Pic Academy for a little while. You spent some time at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. What were the biggest lessons you took from environments like that?
um, from the Ice Pic Academy, and then I trained a little bit at Reality Wrestling, not much. My
Right.
trainer in Texas is um, Diego de la Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've learned from them is they have really taken the time to know how I learn, because I'm a little bit of a slower learner. It takes me a while,
Right.
but they don't get impatient. They take their time to go through things with me, and I learned that when a good trainer wants to teach you that they care, it doesn't even matter how long it's going to take you to learn that specific, whether if it's like a move, whatever it is, or
Right.
like the psychology of it, um, that they won't be too, how can I say, like rude,
Right.
you know? And I think that's how I've been also loving my journey with it too, because they just been making it fun. They've been making
Right.
it fun. There's times that I've almost like, I panic, I get nervous. I'm still like a shy person, but they tell me that sometimes I forget how strong I am. So they got to remind me, like, hey, you might be a petite girl, but you are pretty strong. And I'm like, I guess. Okay, let's go, I guess. But I don't know. I would just say they just taught me to, even though like I don't have my pops, they've been a really good male, guidance. Like
Right.
they've guided me a lot. So I'm really
For
appreciative with the trainers that I have.
That's terrific. Your early matches, once you hit the ground, once you jumped in the ring, and started working, it seems like you just hit the ground running and you were off to the races. Was there a match, maybe a moment where you like had your first real breakthrough where you're like, you said to yourself, like, yeah, I can do this. Like this is for me.
Mm, the match that I was saying probably like opened my eyes will probably be, I will tell you probably recently, um, with Tina in New York recently.
Okay.
This was in October. It it made me realize that yes, this is for me, but also like, damn, I gotta work harder now. Yeah, she really
Yes.
opened my eyes. My early like, I don't know. I feel like even in the beginning, I still felt like that too. I'm like, this is for me. This is for me. But I think in October, like I said, last month, that's the eye opener. Like, okay, it's time to get. Not that I wasn't serious. I've always been serious,
Right.
but I'm like, this is the time to really like kick butt.
Right. Time to
Like let
catch
me.
another gear. Yeah.
Yes. So I would
That's
say with Tina.
For sure. One thing that definitely shines through, people just look at your Instagram and can tell is that persona, that charisma that you have. Um, I want to talk a little bit about that Mexican Barbie kind of character. Was it always part of the plan, or did it evolve naturally? Is that who you are away from the ring?
A little bit, yeah, but I feel that I first started with the Mexican Queen. I
Okay.
really want to bring out like my heritage, like my culture. I want to bring that out. Very proud of being Mexican. So but then a lot of people started saying like, "Oh my God, you look like a Barbie. You look like a little doll. Like you're so cute and all that stuff." And I'm like, you know what? Like, what about if I start calling myself the Mexican Barbie? Because there was some people that will call me a Barbie. They'll call me like little muñequita, which means a doll. Like, and I was like, perfect. There's no Mexican Barbies, so let me be the first one. So that's how it started. The attitude is the same. I like how I am. I'm very cutesy, very adorable. But also, as in my character, it's like I'm adorable, but I'll still kick your ass. Like, and that's me in real life too. Don't mess with me. Like in high school, I used to get bullied a lot. But one thing I will say is I always like stood my ground. I don't care how tiny I was. I was like, I'm gonna get that respect. So
Hey,
and I
dynamite
did.
comes in small packages.
Yeah, and I did. So that's why a lot of people, I want people to also understand that, like, if the whole Mexican Barbie is not, oh my God, I'm perfect, or,
Right.
it's not even that. It's just believing in yourself. You're beautiful as you are, especially for my young fan supporters. It's like, you're beautiful. Like, a lot of people, and I've met people that don't like their curly hair at times. And let me tell you, it is hard to have curly hair. It's expensive also, but I have met people that have told me that they love their curly hair now because of me, because I have curly hair. So
Wow.
it's like I'm being a little role model, and I like it too, cause
I
yeah.
love that. That's a perfect segue because I wanted to ask you about that. When I have a female guest on, that's always something that I wanna hit on because you've become a cultural figure for Latina fans, specifically little girls. You very much embraced, your Mexican heritage. Um, how much pride do you take in that role, and how important is it for you to be a role model, whether it be to little Latina boys, little Latina girls, little boys, little children of all ethnicities? How big is that role model role for you?
It's very important because I didn't have a role model like that growing up, and the one that I the one that I did have is Selena. And I think that's the reason why my entrance song, Selena, I say Bidi Bidi Bom Bom because literally me being in a show makes my heart go Bidi Bidi Bom Bom. But I've said this a lot where Selena with her music has helped me through breakups. You know, anytime I had a really bad breakup, I would play her songs and it would just give me that fire like, yeah, I gotta leave this guy. He's caca, he doesn't deserve me. And it made me like kind of, become a lion that I mean, I am a lion, but made me be like that baddie, that baddie. She made me feel baddie. So I wanna be for younger men, like boys and girls, not just the girls. The boys are important too. Um, I want to be their Selena, where if they are having like a tough time, they can watch my match, they can watch my interviews, and they just feel inspired to just continue with things, continue with life. And, I've always wanted to play sports when I was younger, and unfortunately, I couldn't because my parents never allowed it because I was a girl. But I'm doing it now. So it's kind of like, don't stop believing in yourself. Like, you know, if it's not
Oh
the
yeah.
time then, it will be like there will be a right time when to do it. Like now, you know, I might be a little too old to do wrestling, but here I am kicking butt. So it's very important for that, for being like a role model, and also just my, representing my culture, being Mexican. It's sacrifices, my parents did come. Well, my dad mostly came, like had a big of a struggle. And I want to show that too. Like in life, there's always going to be struggles, but you just have to keep going, keep going. And as long as you work really hard for something that you want, you're going to get that. You're going to get those results. But you can't be lazy, you know? And trust me, let me tell you, like, there's times that I'm just like, "Ah, let me just be in, like, let me just lay down and not do anything." But then I'm like, we have to work. We have to work. And I think that's another thing that has gotten me to where I'm at now, even though I've been only 2 years in the business, but I'm a workaholic. I'm a hustler, you know. So I want the kids to know that too. You gotta work really hard for it, you know.
Absolutely, for sure. I
So
love that. I
yeah.
love that. Um, I want to talk
Hey,
about some of
you.
your.
Yeah, watching this right now. I see you. If you're enjoying what you're watching, I've got one quick favor to ask, and it only takes a second, costs you nothing, and makes a huge difference. If you could go ahead and hit that like button, maybe drop a comment. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Doesn't seem like much, but for small creators, it's everything. So let's help more people find this channel and keep the content coming. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the podcast will be really grateful. So if you're having fun, you like what you see, make it official, click those buttons, and the Fans View podcast, we'll see you next time.
I want to talk about some of your fun rivalries you've had. Brittany
Ooh.
Kay,
Ugh.
Sierra, Lily, Lily Ruiz. One in particular stands out because selfishly she is a former guest of the show, and that is Miss
Oh,
Shay Carmichael.
oh,
um,
Shay.
what did you learn being in the ring with someone like Shay, who might have a little bit more experience than you, has worked some TV stuff? What was your experience like with Shay Carmichael?
Well, let me say, at first I was like, then American Barbie versus Mexican Barbie. Let's go. Loved
I
it.
love it.
Okay? Loved it. I
Love
was
it.
like, yes, 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 yes. I loved it. Getting in the ring with her, it was honestly one of the best match that I like. I felt very comfortable working with her. Like you said, she's very, experienced, and it showed. Like it showed. I can't really say anything like bad. Is everything positive? I mean, she did kick my butt a few times here and there. I was like, damn, girl, go easy on this Chi-Town girl. But let me tell you something. Texas girls are no joke. And I love it, though. I love it. Those girls have kicked my butt so many times, but I still keep going. I still keep going back. But yeah, no, working with uh, Shay was wonderful. I feel truly honored to be, to have had that match with her.
I
She's
love that.
awesome. And she's
I
going to
love
go
the.
far. She's going to go far.
Agreed.
She
Agreed.
has
I
the
love that.
look. She has, the skills. So,
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. I love we could give a former guest a shout out here on the show. I want to talk about you being a star, though. You captured
ooh,
the WrestleLeague Women's Championship. That was your first major title. What did that
yes.
moment mean to you that a company had faith enough in you to put a title on you? Obviously, it means something different behind the scenes than it does, to the fans. What did that moment mean to you?
It meant a lot to me. It was a very special moment. My mama was there when I won
Oh,
the title. So, um, it was, yeah, it was like early on my career. But like I said earlier, is I hustle. People notice that I work really hard.
absolutely.
Um, and the people that don't think that, they just don't know me. They haven't seen my, probably my social media, but it literally made, how can I say, winning that title made me work even harder to prove
Right.
myself even more.
Absolutely.
And because at first I was taking it, I mean, I was working hard, but I was like keeping, going a little slow. I was like, okay. But then once I won that title, I was like, okay, game is on. Let's go. You got the
Right, right.
pressure is on, and I have to prove a point. And there was a few people that seen my match with Reign Victoria, and that was in August of last year. And they gave me a lot of good feedback. They're like, you are learning pretty quickly. I mean, mind you, from somebody that really didn't watch wrestling, somebody that, didn't do any sports, um, it's the respect that I have for the sport also.
I
I
love
have a lot
that.
of respect for it, but I also want to prove like us women can also do it.
Hell
You
yeah.
can kick butt too.
Absolutely. I
But
love
yeah.
that. I love the respect that you have for the business because that shines through, and that's why I've called you today, to have you on the show, because that respect for the business, that grind, that hustle, that drive you have, really, it shows through. So people are noticing. Take my word for it.
Yeah, I mean, people are noticing, but then the more they notice, I'm like, I'm shy. At training, one of my we have David Ali actually working with us on some Wednesdays, and it was the first time that we were working on just chaining, right? And and when we were working, he's like, okay, lock up with me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm getting nervous because I'm like, oh man, he's, 10 years of experience. I'm over here being a little baby. Okay, got it. We lock up and we do a little training. And then he's like, you surprised me. He's like, I did not know you can lock up and I'm like, oh, yay. That makes me happy. Like, it makes me so happy because then it's like, okay, now you are taking me serious. Not that he wasn't, but it's like
Right.
your first time, like us locking up. You were like,
Eliminates
okay,
all the doubt. I love
uh
that.
huh, and I'm like, yes, and I give all that to my trainer in Texas because he's very like picky with certain things, but picky in a good way because it's for
Right.
me to get better.
Right.
So with him, we were locking up millions of times. He's like, come on, come on, and I'm like, hey, I'm just a baby, I'm just a baby.
I love it. I'm so glad that you mentioned, being nervous and being shy. Because one thing I wanted to ask you about is obviously you've been at a lot of meet and greets lately, WrestleCon, wrestling conventions all over the place. The big event, I think, just last weekend or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, what is it like? What's the difference in your mindset when you're walking through the curtain to go out to the ring, or when you walk into Suffolk County Credit Union, arena for the big event? How's that mindset different?
Oh my God, it's very different. Okay, so like at least when I'm in, gonna have a match, it's like I always pray, regardless of any situation. I always pray. So I pray, but then I'm like, I got this. I'm very confident, like confident. I'm like, I got
Right.
this. Let's do this. And then for conventions, I'm especially, I feel like I would have been a little more confident if it was like in the Midwest, because that's where I'm from. I'm from
Right.
Chi-Town, Chicago, but it's in New York. I've only been okay. So when I did WrestleCon, I've only been in New York once. I wrestled there once, so nobody really knows me. I'm new. So
Right.
at first, when I accepted, going to WrestleCon, I was like, yeah, oh my God, that's gonna be fun. But as I'm there, I was like, oh my God, is anyone even gonna buy any pictures of me? They don't know who I am. Like, so I was very nervous for that because I was
For
just like,
sure.
I'm a nobody. Like you look around, you see stars that are like been on TV, are on
Right.
TV, and then there's the Mexican Barbie over here, like hi, greetings, like who is
Love it.
this girl? Who is this curly girl? Well, I had my hair all nice and pretty, right? But I was like, who is this pink girl over here, Barbie, whatever, like Lulu? Who the fuck is this one? But
I love it.
that's when I told myself, like, hey, you really want this? Well, stop being shy and get
Which
the hell
that's it.
up of your
That's it.
chair and start just promoting yourself. And Mercedes Martinez, that same night, because we all had dinner, she gave me good advice. So then the second day, I was a little bit more, more prepared. Because it was my
Right.
first convention. I've never been to WrestleCon, not even to get a, like, to meet the wrestlers. So
Right.
I didn't know what it was all about, and then secondly, my first one, I'm over here actually being one of the wrestlers. I'm like, oh shit, what? Why do I always put myself in these situations? That's what I always tell myself. Like, why? It's like when I get on a roller coaster, I'm scared of heights. And I'm there and I'm like panicking and I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm probably gonna die. Like, why? And then the roller coaster goes all fast. And then at the end, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. And then it goes all over again once I get into another roller coaster. So that's
I
the
love
same
it.
thing with wrestling at times or conventions. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like sometimes I do get really nervous and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, and then it happens. I'm like, that wasn't that bad. I was
You sell.
overthinking.
I was about to say you sell that first 8x10, and then all the pressure's off, and you're off to the
Yes.
races.
Yeah, and I actually did really well. And I'm like, thank you, baby Jesus. Like, thank you. So sometimes
I
I just,
love it.
but you know what? I do tell myself, even if I don't sell anything, at least I gave it a try and I'm expanding, myself a bit from doing things that I never thought I was going to do. Like when I was, like maybe 5 years ago, I never thought I would be doing conventions. So at least I am trying, and I cannot tell my supporters try something new when I'm not trying something new. So I have
Right.
to do these things in order for my supporters to be like, hey, Lulu's doing it, I can do it too. As long as it's
Right.
positive things,
There you
don't do
go.
any negative stuff. But
There you go.
but yeah, so that's something. It's yeah, new
Um,
things. I'm down for that,
I
and
love it.
it's just always a learning experience. So for a big event, I felt a little bit more confident, but I did sell some stuff too. So not as
There you
much as
go.
other people, but still, I'm still a baby. So even to just get a few sales, that already means a lot to me. Like any sale means a lot to me, or even no sales.
Absolutely.
But if I was able to have a conversation with people, that already wins my heart. Like it already makes it worth it. So,
That's fantastic. I love that. Well, as we
yeah,
start to wind this thing down, I do have a couple more questions I'm going to throw your way. One of
yeah.
which being, when you look ahead, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, what's the dream for Lulu La Reina?
The dream of mine is to have no regrets.
Love that.
Just live life and have no regrets. And one of my biggest thing, and I've told a lot of people what I've reason also why I'm doing this is like to help my family out. Help my family. I care about myself a lot too. I mean, I do therapy. I take care of myself mentally, physically, but I just want to help my family. So especially my mom. My mom has gone through a lot of health issues, and I just want to give her the life that she deserves. So
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
my dream, to give my
I,
mama the life that she
I
deserves.
love I love that. That's such a fantastic answer. I don't even know how we follow that, but I'm gonna try. Um, this is the Fans View podcast, so I have to ask everybody that comes on, outside of professional wrestling, what are you a fan of?
Food.
Hey, sister, you're preaching to the right one now.
Food. I love food. Um, you'll see me going to restaurants. I take myself out on dates all the time. If
Get
somebody
it,
doesn't want to
girl.
go with me, I take myself out. But food and movies. I love going to the movie theater. I do go alone. So, peeps, if you guys want to watch a movie, go by yourself. It's always fun. You don't have to share your popcorn or your food. So, come on. It's a win-win. But I love going to the movies. It
I love it.
relaxes me. It's the time. It's kind of like in a wrestling ring. You just everything goes away. All the
Yeah,
problems. And I feel like
for
in a movie theater, you're not on your phone. Well, sometimes I'll be like, because of TikTok, I'll be recording
sure.
a little bit, but I'm not, messaging people. It's just that the movie theater. So I love going to the movie theaters. I'm a
I
big fan
love
of that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, last but not least, and this is my favorite question that I ask everybody, and you kind of touched on it, when I asked you what your long term dream is. But at this stage of your career and of your life, because obviously you're still a very young woman, how do you define success?
Hmm. How do I define success? Okay, I'm just gonna say how I feel. It's just happiness.
Okay.
My success is just my happiness. Like I feel that as long as I'm happy, I'm already, you know, having success.
I I love it.
Like that's what I'm working on. I've always been where I used to be so sad before. I mean, yeah, I used to be sad before, and now I've worked on myself a lot, my like self love journey, and it's just that the success is just me being happy. It's either if I'm like, let's say if I sign a contract with any, you know, promotions or companies, it's if that makes me happy, I'm succeeding. That's success.
I
If
love
I if I have food on the table, that makes me happy. That's success. Like I,
it.
honestly, I just take everything day by day. Like whatever
Hey,
God decides to give
nothing
me,
wrong with that.
I'm happy. I wake up every morning. Well, He's giving me the chance when I wake up every morning, and I'm happy, and I just go with the flow. So that's
I
success for me. My happiness
I
and
love it.
helping
Hey,
people.
that's
Helping
right.
people.
I really I respect that answer. I love it, and I love that your passion shines through when you talk about wrestling and your journey. Um, as we start to wrap this thing up, Lulu, I just want to thank you so much for giving us your time tonight to come on and talk to us for a few minutes. Let the people know, where can they get a hold of you? Where can they see your content? Where can promoters reach out?
So, my Instagram is Lulu_La Reina_. You guys can check my TikTok and maybe we can have some cafecito, papacito. And that's on Lulu La Reina also. And Facebook is Lulu La Reina. So, all of them is Lulu La Reina. My
I
merch, you can
love
get
it.
it at shows. Delulu. But yeah, that's about it.
I love it. I was really hoping you were going to plug the shirt. I love that.
Yeah, we gotta promote Delulus.
And where's and where's the best place if a promoter's watching this and wants to book you? Where's the best place to get a hold of you?
Instagram.
Instagram it is. You
Mhm.
heard it, guys. Well, Lulu, like I said, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully this is the first appearance of many because we need the Mexican Barbie back.
Yes. Well, thank
Of
you for having me and reaching out. I really appreciate it too because, I always
course.
said that without you guys, like podcasts, photographers, videographers, like we're nothing without you guys. So I really appreciate that you even took the time to reach out and wanting me on your podcast. So thank you for that.
Of course, of course. We love you here at the Fans View, and I know people that watch this are going to fall in love with you too. Lulu, this has been so much fun. Make sure to come back on. We're going to revisit you in a couple months and see
Okay.
what kind of shenanigans you're getting into.
Yeah. Let's see if I don't get in trouble.
Guys, make sure you go follow Lulu on Instagram, TikTok. Go buy that sick shirt. And
Mhm.
most importantly, above all else, guys, don't forget to call your mom.
If you haven't liked or subscribed, you're going to be joking me.